That's code PARTY.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station, your home for the NFL regular season playoffs and Super Bowl. It's Wildcats Radio 1290.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Ozuna goes after the first pitch, grounds it to short. Perdomo has it, goes to second. There's one. Marte to first. Double play. Ball game. Series sweep. Diamondbacks come all the way back and win this finale by a final score of 11-10. They have taken down Atlanta, and they are back to 500 with one of the most improbable wins of the season.
The brooms are out, and boy, is Atlanta hit a new all-time low.
Oh, man, the Boo Birds were out today at Truist Park. I think that's a bank or something down in Georgia. Baseball. It's the reason I love this sport. And sometimes I hate it too. I was just talking about this last night, and I've mentioned my fantasy team and how bad we were last week because I had all the Diamondbacks pitchers, and they were all so horrible last week. And that, unfortunately, that continued with Brandon Pfaadt today, who I'm starting to get a little bit concerned about. But so all of last week on my fantasy team, I had one quality start. One quality start from all my starting pitchers. You know, you generally carry anywhere between 5 to 7 starters. They'll get 1 to 2 outings a week. So you're talking about probably 10 to 12, 13 starts per week. I had one quality start last week. Going into today, first 3 days of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I already had 4 quality starts this week. And last week I lost 11-2. This week I'm up 13-1. And the Diamondbacks, who started this road trip in the doldrums, well, I mean, not so much in the doldrums. It was a happy flight. They got the win against Washington on Sunday, but they certainly weren't feeling great about themselves as they were heading out onto this road trip. And they get a sweep of the Atlanta Braves. And then today, on a day when, again, Brandon Pfaadt came completely apart, and we'll get into all the highlights and that coming up. Brandon Pfaadt for the second, well, let's go back to the last time out. He didn't even get out of the first inning. Gave up 7 runs, and they got 10 in the first inning. His last time out, which I believe was Saturday. So he comes back today, and he just is equally as bad. Couldn't get out of the third inning. Well, got out of the third inning, but couldn't go anywhere past the third inning today. And the Diamondbacks, they were down 6-0. They got back to 6-3. Then they were down 10-4 going into the 9th inning. And they rally to beat the Braves and sweep a 3-game series with a 7-run 9th inning.
By the way, home, that was the most runs the Diamondbacks have ever overcome, the biggest deficit they've ever overcome in the 9th.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Ever?
Yes, 6-run deficit, DK, was the most runs they've ever overcome in the 9th inning.
Crazy.
So
Crazy.
7 to win it in the 9th, right?
Yeah. Let's go back to last night, though, first, before we get into what happened with today's game. And again, last night, you're coming off a win, trying to maybe get a second win to get a series out on the road. Never easy to go out on the road and win a series, but the Diamondbacks had a chance to do that going into game 2 of their outing against their series against the Atlanta Braves last night. They had Cousin Merrill on the mound. He, too, had not been very good last week, but, man, was Cousin Merrill really good. He had a no-hitter, in fact, going into the 7th inning facing Ronald Acuna.
And Acuna has the first Brave hit tonight. He got the sinker and didn't miss it.
Yeah. But before that, it was all Cousin Merrill.
Back to that changeup, and he strikes out Acuna to start it off. Got him. Merrill Kelly, 2 strikeouts and a 1-2-3 first. On the corner, Roberto Ortiz rings him up. Merrill Kelly has struck out 3 of the first 6. Make it 4. The changeup. Swing and a miss, and Murphy goes down to start the 3rd. But he's got so many other weapons it almost doesn't matter. There's the heater right there, and it's strikeout number 5. He's punched out 3 straight. And he's got Acuna. Merrill Kelly is dealing right now. He's got 6 strikeouts through 3 1/3. Swing and a miss. It's back to Old Faithful. The changeup is strikeout number 7. Got him. He went down and chased that changeup, Josh. It's that changeup one more time for Merrill. Merrill Kelly, sensational in Atlanta. 7 scoreless innings.
Yeah. I mean, how good was Merrill Kelly? You heard that little bleep there? That wasn't because of anything that Steve Bertune said during the broadcast. That was because that particular batter that Merrill Kelly struck out yelled a pretty loud expletive, if you know what I mean. That's how frustrated the Braves were. So loud that you could hear it on the broadcast last night. Merrill Kelly dominated last night's game in a 2-1 victory. 7 shutout innings, allowing 8 or striking out 8 and allowing just the 1 base hit that you heard there to Ronald Acuna. Okay, so things got a little dicey though in the 9th inning. That's what this series was just. I mean, it was a really, really good series from that standpoint. So Justin Martinez, who's been hurt this year, comes in the 9th inning and walks 3 and hits 1 to force in a run. So the Braves have the bases loaded with 2 outs with a chance to win the game against Justin Martinez.
The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Justin Martinez walked 3 and hit a batter in the inning, but somehow survives, and the Diamondbacks have taken the first 2 games in Atlanta.
Save number 5 for Justin Martinez. He had gotten out of a jam in the 8th, and he created his own jam in the 9th. 4 walks in an inning and 2/3. He was not happy. If you saw, he kicked his glove after getting that final strikeout. Josh Naylor had to go pick it up for him. But he got it done. Got it done in the inning. Let's hear from Torey Lovullo on the performance, though, of Merrill Kelly, who really rebounded after a not-so-great start last week.
Merrill executed at a very high level. He just was dotting up the cutter. The four-seam fastball was moving around the zone. The changeup. It was just a really complete outing. Had the pitch count not climbed, I think in the 5th or the 6th, I was thinking about throwing him out there for the 8th. But given his circumstances with the heat and humidity, and he felt fine. He felt absolutely great. I want to stay ahead of it and take him out of the game and turn it over the bullpen. But I felt like he was strong, and he could have gone even further. That's what he showed every one of us.
Speaking of the heat, how was your temperature in that 9th inning, Torey Lovullo?
Probably running a little hot, but as everybody's was in the entire Valley and everybody in the dugout and every player on the field, that's how it should be because we're invested and we care and we want to win baseball games. When his back was against the wall in true J. Mart form, he made pitches. It was a 3-2 split to Riley to end the 8th, back-to-back splits to Harris to end the game. Those are not easy pitches to command. He made pitches. He's a fighter and very gritty. He showed why he is who he is. He made pitches when he had to.
J. Mart last night. Now again, today got off to a horrible start. D-backs were down 6-0 after 3 innings because Brandon Pfaadt just completely came apart in the 3rd inning.
The 0-2 pitch, swung on, barrel, deep center field. Back goes Thomas to the warning track and can't make the catch. He tumbles, now picks up the ball at the base of the wall. Riley scores, Olsen right behind him. It's an 0-2 missile of a double by Osuna to dead center. And now the Braves have a 5-0 lead.
We've been talking about how he's really utilizing his fastball, and he's throwing a lot of fastballs over the middle of the plate. This was over the middle and elevated. And I don't know if he was trying to throw the ball well above that to try to change the eye level, but this was in the strike zone. And Ozuna's eyes lit up as he saw that pitch.
This inning has been the de-evolution of the starter when you look at the batted ball results. Since we got back to the top of the order, it has gone walk, error, single, double, and then a much harder hit double. Now Albies hits a ball towards the corner. That's going to get down, and that's going to go to the wall. It's another double for the Braves. Ozuna scores easily, and now it's 6-0 Atlanta. It's a 5-run bottom of the third, and Pfaadt is just getting smacked around here in this bottom of the third.
And he would not come out for the fourth inning, would Brandon Pfaadt, leaving after 3 today. 6 runs, 5 earned, 5 hits, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. So that's back-to-back outings that he's given up now 12 runs earned in 3 innings of work. And you got to wonder maybe what's going on there. And we'll have to continue to monitor that with Brandon Pfaadt. But, again, the comeback time, the answer backs answered back in a big way. It started in that 9th inning with a home run by Lourdes Gurriel, and then Alec Thomas came up with a man on.
Here's the 0-2 now. Swung on, that ball drilled deep to right field. Acuna head down, ball up and gone. Home run for Alec Thomas. It's his 2nd of the year. It comes on an 0-2 pitch. And the D-backs tack on 2 more. It's now 10-7.
10-7. At that point, it would be 10-9 with 2 on, and Gino with a chance.
Iglesias ready. 3-2. Swing, line drive. That's fair. Down the left field line. Into the corner it goes. Marte scores. Vargas right behind him. And the Diamondbacks take the lead. 11-10. It's a miraculous 7-run 9th inning. And Atlanta has been stunned here at Truist Park.
I mean, stunned. And then it was Shelby Miller cleaning things up in the bottom of the 9th. 11-10 the final today. D-backs win it. 4-game winning streak. Back to just 6 behind. Back to 500 at 31-31. Again, I mean, the Dodgers are good, but they're not, like, running away with this thing. They're 12 games over 500. They're 37-25. D-backs 6 games back. Braves 4 straight losses now. They're 11 and a half games out behind the Mets in the National League East, and 7 games under 500. Again, it's going to be a team to watch, the Braves, because they're starting to get healthy, and you know that's a better ball club than what they're playing like right now. Alex Verdugo, Saguaro High School, is on that squad. He drove in a run today, but he's been struggling as of late. Just 4 hits in his last 24 plate appearances, so not quite as hot as when the Braves were out here in the desert last month for Alex Verdugo. But still a team to keep an eye on, because if they get right, they get healthy, which they're starting to do, that is a team that can quickly climb back into that thing with the Mets and the Phillies. But they are in a really big hole right now, and the Diamondbacks getting 2 much-needed wins to start out this road trip. 3 must-needed wins, I should say, to start out this road.
Could we work on like a win 2, lose 1, as opposed to lose 9, win 9? Like, come on.
Consistency is what you're asking for?
Yeah, well, the losing 9 out of 10, that was a rough stretch. And now they're on a 4-game streak.
Yeah.
I think that concept of, 66%, you win 2, you lose 1, DK, you're going to make the playoffs. And what were they, 1 game out last year?
Yep.
Just avoid these 9-game losing streaks, or avoid losing 9 out of 10.
Indeed. So it's on to Cincinnati, and Terry Francona, Tito, the new manager down there, obviously with the Reds, will welcome in the Snakes this weekend. Cincinnati is 30-33, so they are slightly lower overall than the Diamondbacks, and it'll be Nick Lodolo against Eduardo Rodriguez coming up to open up that series on Friday. The Reds are 9 games out of the National League Central behind the front-running Chicago Cubs.
I think what people really want to know is, how are the Rockies doing?
Oh, well, hey, we talked. That was, I think we led the show with the Rockies yesterday. Imagine that. We led this show.
I heard.
With the Rockies yesterday.
I heard you guys yucking it up about the Rockies being on a winning streak.
3 straight wins. Second longest winning streak in the division, behind the Diamondbacks, who now won 4 in a row. The 12-50 now. Colorado Rockies.
Where are the Marlins these days?
The Marlins, they're the ones that got swept.
Yeah, no, I know.
By the Rockies. I think, let me look.
Yeah, they're in a streak too. They've
Yeah.
lost 8 out of 10.
Yeah. They're not in the mix. I know that in the National League East. Not in the mix right now. All right, we've got a short show for you again today. We've got Women's College World Series, what could be the final game of the NCAA softball season. It might be tonight in Oklahoma City. We'll talk about what happened last night. Hopefully we'll get to that. We do have a lot of folks. We were going to chat with Dave Nathan coming up next. He is the radio play-by-play man for the North Carolina Tar Heels. We'll talk to Dave about that squad that the Wildcats are going to be facing starting tomorrow. Javion Cole from Arizona football is scheduled to join us at 3:40. And then in studio, we got more FC Tucson in studio. We had the women's coach, Callie Carter, was here yesterday, and DeAndre Pickett from Tucson High and Pima College is going to be in studio along with Daniel Idiakoa. They're going to join us in the 4 o'clock hour before we get out of here today at 4:45. DK on the Sports Tip. Cricket is going to get you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, Wildcats Radio, 1290 traffic and weather together. Kinney Road closed near the Arizona Sonora Desert Museum for road work. Traffic could use McCain Loop Road instead. Collisions 29th Street near Swan and also Kolb Road south of Valencia. 70 the overnight low, 100 sunny tomorrow, 103 this weekend, 97 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio, 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by eBay. Swapping out your tires? There's nothing like it. With eBay, you find the feel you're looking for, from smooth highway rides to grip for rough terrain. Get all the tires you need at the prices you'll love. eBay, things people love.
AutoNation Honda Tucson at the Auto Mall is your premier automotive destination in town. Explore the new 2025 Honda models and extensive collection of pre-owned vehicles. Experience no-hassle financing and our no-haggle one-price selection. Visit AutoNation Honda Tucson at the Auto Mall today.
It's the $10,000 quiz show. Okay, contestants, these are things that save you money. Ready? Here we go. It's Tucson's only place to save up to 40% on all your favorite tobacco products.
Tobacco Barn.
You pay no city or state sales tax because they're on
the Indian Reservation.
And save up to another $3 off with a coupon at
TobaccoBarnTucson.com.
Excellent. Now for the big savings. At Tobacco Barn, you'll save up to
40% off.
And because they're on the reservation, you pay no
city or state sales tax.
And at TobaccoBarnTucson.com, you get
a coupon up to $3 off.
What you are if you waste your money shopping somewhere else.
Crazy?
Nuts.
Stupid?
A few tacos short of a combo plate?
Whoa! Tobacco Barn, Tucson's most watched savings show. Nogales Highway just south of Valencia. Check your local listings or TobaccoBarnTucson.com.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
The summer is hot, but you don't have to be hot. Your air conditioner works hard to keep you cool all summer long. Call Picture Rock's Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing to keep your air conditioner running in tip-top shape for the long, hot summer. Our highly trained technicians will provide peace of mind knowing that you will be comfortable throughout the hot weather. Picture Rock's Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, keeping you cool all summer long. 520-492-0748.
Picture Rock's Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
Progressive knows there are some surprisingly expensive things in life, like fences. A house with a big yard and a white picket fence was always the dream. But then you saw the price to install a fence and you're wondering if the color is driving the price up. Nobody ever dreams of a beige or a gray picket fence, right? So maybe those fences are cheaper. But no, they're not. Then you remember that switching your home and auto to Progressive could save you hundreds and make all your dreams of a fence come true. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it. But not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to Hims.com/joy. HIMS.com/JOY.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, because you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things. People. Love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Hello, I'm Joe Cordell, founder of Cordell & Cordell. Divorce is complicated, especially when your small business or professional practice is involved. At Cordell & Cordell, we understand that these assets raise unique valuation and allocation issues. For 35 years, we've helped doctors, lawyers, and small business owners navigate divorce with confidence. Call us at Cordell & Cordell. Let me tell you, I understand on a personal level, your business is much more than a job. It's your legacy. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
Yeah, Goodfellas AC.
Hi, can I get a second opinion from you guys on something?
Of course. It's what we're here for.
So, my wife's brother claimed he'd done some AC repair before.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, and now there's kind of a rope and pulley situation that opens the freezer door and a fan inside turns on to cool off the house.
Huh, very creative.
Really?
No, not at all. Next time, call us first, yeah?
Yeah.
Call Goodfellas AC for free estimates and second opinions. Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. We are getting closer to Super Regional time. It's going to be an early one. Once again, breakfast with the Wildcats tomorrow from Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Brian Jeffries will have the call. We'll have action starting, coverage starting at 8:50 right here on Wildcats Radio 1290 as the Wildcats take on the North Carolina Tar Heels in the Super Regional with a date in Omaha on the line. Let's find out a little bit about this team from Carolina that the Wildcats are going to be facing. Please be joined by the man that does the play-by-play for North Carolina baseball. His name is Dave Nathan. And Dave, we always joke around here that, man, this would be a pretty good basketball game if it wasn't on the baseball field.
I think they played this one a time or two before on the hardwood, but I've been telling people around here, I feel like through a week of the college baseball tournament, this tournament has exceeded what the NCAA basketball tournament had in a huge way over the course of the first weekend back in March, with Vanderbilt out, Texas out. A quarter of the top 16 seeds were done before we really got to those game sevens. It's been a wild tournament. It's been totally unpredictable. And to have these two behemoths facing off against one another in Chapel Hill, Arizona and Carolina is going to be must-see TV, or in my case, must-listen-to radio.
There you go. And the Tar Heels pushed to the brink at home last week, Game 7 against Oklahoma. What kind of stood out about the way that Carolina kind of handled that situation, having to go to the last game to try to advance?
Yeah, it's a good question. It's the second year in a row that Carolina's had to go to that, if necessary, Game 7 to advance. And last year was really tight, beating LSU, the defending champs, 4-3 in 10 innings under the lights. This one wasn't quite that dramatic. Carolina, Oklahoma played 3 games, and they were all decided by at least 4 runs. And I thought what really decided all the games was fielding. Carolina got 6 unearned runs in the first inning of the first matchup, and that paced them to an 11-5 win. Tar Heels made some uncharacteristic errors in the second go-round, and that was what propelled Oklahoma ultimately to the win. And then in the final game, OU, it was kind of two-pronged. They ran out of arms because they had played so much in such a confined amount of time. And then, fielding, again, was a little bit of their unraveling. But you take your hats off to Carolina. They earned it. They had to take the long way through, and they got it done.
We're chatting with Dave Nathan. He is the play-by-play man for Carolina baseball, the Tar Heels and the Wildcats tomorrow. First pitch a little after 9 o'clock in the morning our time. It'll be noontime down in Chapel Hill. Let's take a look at a little bit of what this North Carolina squad is all about. We talk about here in Tucson, we've got some young pitching that's led this Wildcats program. When you look at sophomore Owen Kramkowski, a local kid who's gone to the top of the rotation over the course of the last 7 weeks, and Smith Bailey on the back end, the number 3, a freshman. But you guys have a couple of really talented freshmen as well in Walker McDuffie and Ryan Lynch, who have kind of really stepped into key roles for the Tar Heels.
Yeah, they really have. I'm a big proponent, guys, of you don't know what you don't know. And these two kids have never been on this stage before. I don't think they have any idea what they're actually doing right now. But they've been so good in all seriousness throughout the year. To see them combine in that elimination game, they were the only two arms that Carolina needed. And Lynch had not started the game this year until the ACC championship game against Clemson. And all they did in that matchup was go a career best 4 and strike out 7 as Carolina went on to win that game 14-4 over the Tigers. And then his second start in a must-win game for Carolina's season goes 5 innings, a new career best, strikes out 6, and then McDuffie goes the final 4, strikes out 7 to get his 7th save on the year. They're both strikeout machines. Lynch throws a little bit harder. They both got devastating sliders, and it's so refreshing to see these two baby-faced kids out there looking like total assassins when it's money time.
Yeah, but obviously the guy at the front of the rotation is Jake Knapp. 13 wins, 0 losses this season. What is it about what he offers and delivers that has made him so successful?
Well, first of all, it's just a great story. I mean, his career started back in 2020 at UNCW, never played.
Oh, wow.
Goes to junior college for a couple of years at Walter State. Our pitching coach probably is not going to give him an offer the first time he sees him pitch, and then there's a huge jump between year 1 and year 2 in junior college. And kid from Greensboro is able to come back to North Carolina, pitches his first year in 2023, and then has an elbow tear before the season gets started last year. So he didn't pitch a single game last year. And entering the season, you're just not quite sure what you're going to get. His first appearance was in relief, but it was pretty evident pretty early on that Jake had not only recovered, he'd gotten a lot better. And one more win, if he gets that win, would tie him for the all-time single-season wins mark in Carolina history that stood since 1978. So he's been doing some things this year that haven't been done in a long, long time. Nobody's ever been 13-0 at Carolina. And he's just a super good kid, great family. So happy to see him having this amount of success in his final year.
Chatting with Dave Nathan. He's the play-by-play man for North Carolina Tar Heels baseball. It is U of A and UNC Friday morning, game 1 of the Super Regionals. Coverage here on Wildcats Radio 1290 with Brian Jeffries will begin at 8:50. We were talking about this pitching staff, but I'm sure that a part of what has made them so good is you guys have a really, really top-flight catcher in Luke Stevenson. Doesn't hit for a lot of average, but a power guy, and I would imagine a guy that really knows his way behind the dish and in framing and really leading a staff through a ball game.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of those things are great points. And to the point about his average, I mean, the poor kid suffered through like a 1 for 15 regional in Chapel Hill where his only hit was an infield single. But he still found his way on. He scored 4 runs. And I think Coach Forbes said it best earlier today at the press conference. And Coach Forbes was a catcher when he was playing. And that's that Luke doesn't let his ABs, good or bad, carry over to what he's doing behind the plate. And he is good to steal a few strikes each and every game for one of his pitchers out there with the way that he frames. He's likely going to be a first-round draft pick. He's a draft-eligible sophomore. If this doesn't paint the picture, I don't know what does. He was 0 for 4 in the ACC championship game against Clemson, but he was the tournament MVP based on what he did everything before that. So he brings a world of talent defensively. We talked about the home runs, takes a ton of walks. And I just cannot imagine him having a 1 for whatever stretch again this week. And I think if there's anybody that's in this lineup that's due, it'd be Luke.
Well, if Luke Stevenson is struggling, one guy that apparently is not is Gavin Gallagher. 13 for 18 in the regional?
I told somebody earlier today, you'd be hard-pressed to find a college basketball player make 13 for 18 free throws in crunch time or a quarterback complete 13 for 18 passes in the fourth quarter. To go 13 for 18 in a regional against the kind of competition that Carolina faced was borderline unfathomable. But he's got a knack for the dramatic. I mean, he hit a walk-off grand slam last year in the regionals to propel Carolina past Long Island. So another sophomore kid, lives for the moment, local kid from out of Apex. He was obviously the regional most outstanding player. And to go back to last year, he had a tough College World Series at the plate. Faced a really tough West Virginia team. I know that you guys know the Mountaineers now from being in the Big 12. Had a tough go of it against the Supers, and I have to imagine the way that he went out last year in the postseason has probably been living in the back of his mind for a while, and this is the first chance that he got to really do something about it.
You know, obviously, we're in an area where transfers are really huge. We got one out of Samford down south, Aaron Walton, who's been just an unbelievable addition to Arizona's lineup. 3 home runs in the regional championship game last weekend. And you guys got a pretty decent transfer as well in Kane Kepley, who's come in and really solidified your outfield.
Yeah. By the way, Aaron Walton, I got a soft spot for because he's from Brentwood, Tennessee, which is where I got married almost exactly 20 years ago. So I saw that hometown, and I thought, I know exactly where that is. I've been there a bunch. And it's no surprise he's a heck of a football player over there as well because they got a great football program. So Aaron Walton is somebody that jumps out to me. But, yeah, Kane Kepley. Here's another guy. It's just a great story. Scott Jackson, who was the head coach at Liberty, who's now back as an assistant for his second stint at Carolina, was about the only person that ever offered him a spot to come play baseball. And he was a preferred walk-on at Liberty for his first 2 years. And all he did in those first 2 years was become an all-freshman ASUN member in 2023, and then he leads Conference USA and walks and steals last year and transfers to Carolina and has been the ultimate table setter where he was second team All-ACC this year. He is second in the league in steals, 4th all-time in a single season in Carolina history right now with 42. Takes a ton of HBPs, and he does nothing slow. I tell you, if he takes a walk at some point this weekend, he will run down to first base faster than you or I ever could.
That's awesome. You love hearing about players like that for sure. Dave Nathan joining us. He is the voice of the North Carolina Tar Heels baseball team, UNC and U of A in the Super Regionals. I want to ask you about one more young man, your captain, Jackson Vanderbrake. What do we know about? What's great about him?
Well, West Coast kid, grew up in Yakima, Washington, did a stint at Tacoma Community College before he came to Carolina back in 2023, was second team All-ACC right out of the gates 3 years ago, and then just had a tough year last year. Never could quite stick in the starting lineup, had some tough luck hitting the ball, was brought on late in some games last year in the postseason as a defensive replacement, scored a bunch of runs late on. Carolina was, embroiled in a walk-off win. It felt like every time they stepped out on the diamond last year. But this year, like you said, he's the captain. He is right back into form. 3rd team All-ACC. He was on the All-ACC tournament team. He's been bumped up to the 2nd spot in the lineup. That happened about 2 months ago in what turned out to be a 14-inning win against Duke. And ever since he's been bumped up to that spot, his average has flourished. He's got 22 two-out RBIs. So if Carolina's going to be at its best, guys like Vanderbrake, Gallagher, who we talked about, and then Hunter Stokely, they are the guys that really crank things up when there's 2 outs. They've combined for better than 60 or 70 two-out RBIs this year among the 3 of them. So, real key guys to have around the infield and certainly at the plate.
Now, Dave, do you go back at North Carolina to the Zach Gallen days?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Zach, let me tell you, Zach had such a strange career. I don't think he ever actually pitched in a postseason game for the years that he played for us. And to see him start an all-star game and to have the level of clout that he's got right now, just a great kid from a great family up in Gibbsburg, New Jersey. Came back to our banquet a couple of years ago and spoke. He's, I'm not going to say he's the most extroverted guy, but I think that's one of the reasons why he's been so good on the mound. And we're all Zach Gallen fans where we're from, and I know he's done a lot for your organization in Arizona.
Yeah, well, really enjoy watching him out here and everything like you mentioned that he's done. And we were just talking Diamondbacks in the first segment after their miraculous 7-run 9th inning today to beat the Braves down in Atlanta. North Carolina and Arizona, it won't be basketball, it'll be baseball, but it'll be even more fun than that because a spot in Omaha is on the line. Dave, we appreciate you taking some time to join us. Tell my guy Kenny Dyke I said hello. I hope he's treating you well down there. Smack him around if you need to. And we hope you have great calls this weekend.
I'm going to keep my hands to myself, but I'll let him know that you said hello.
There you go. Dave Nathan, the voice of the North Carolina Tar Heel baseball team. It is U of A and UNC in the Super Regionals again, early morning today and tomorrow and Saturday. Both those games will start at 9 a.m. and we'll have coverage with Brian Jeffries at 8:50. No time yet on Sunday's game. If there needs to be a game on Sunday, this is a best of 3, so it could end on Saturday if one team or the other sweeps. If not, we'll play a deciding game on Sunday, and we'll, of course, have the time on that. That'll come down to TV and what regional, super regionals are left to be played and how ESPN wants to dole all that out to make sure that everybody sees the final games that will decide who is going to be the 8 teams headed to Omaha, Nebraska for the College World Series. DK on the Sports Tip, we're going to talk some football, Arizona football. Javion Cole is going to join us coming up. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290. Cricket getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5s with your traffic and your weather.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Collision on I-10 near the town of Benson on the eastbound side of I-10. East of the town of Benson, collision eastbound I-10 near milepost 309. Collisions on our surface streets, Country Club and FEMA, 29th Street near Swan, and also Cole Road to the south of Valencia. And I'm Cricket, and your weather, 70 the low, 100 and sunny tomorrow, 103 this weekend, 97 now. And that's your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Business owners can now keep in touch with up to 200 staff members at one time. Go to rapidradios.com now for up to 60% off and free shipping.
When you hear crunch, whine, boing, Alaskan AC will arrive to fix it in less than 24 hours from the first crunch, whine, boing. No matter what kind of crunch, whine, or boing your AC is making, we fix it on your schedule.
That's huge. We guarantee to be there in 24 hours or less, or the repair is free.
We not only get there fast, we Polar Bear promise we'll get the job done right.
We believe you deserve fresh air free of humidity in every room of your home, and you should never hear crunch,
whine,
boing.
If you do, call Alaskan AC, and we guarantee we'll be there in under 24 hours.
If we don't make it, your repair will be free.
No matter how big the crunch,
boing,
or whine.
Wait, I thought I was whine.
You're crunch.
I'm crunch. You're boing.
I don't think I'm boing. Gary's more of a boing than me.
William is crunch.
Schedule now and tell us who boing is. Only at AlaskanAC.com.
Sponsored by Rumble. Join millions who trust Rumble's top live streaming personalities to break down the news that matters in real time. Miss the live stream? Catch the full video replay on demand with zero censorship. Download the Rumble app from your Apple Play or Google Play store today and choose from thousands of creators covering everything from financial markets to daily events and more. Choose an open internet and free expression. Choose rumble.com today.
Quick, she's over here. I don't know. I just found her like this.
Yeah, she's banged up, but she'll be fine.
Oh, thank God. What can I do?
Just need the keys. And, sir?
Yeah?
Your car's gonna be fine.
Thank you.
Mobile detailing from Recon Auto Detailing. Tired of wear and tear on your vehicle or just tired of cleaning it yourself? We'll come to you. Book with us online and see why we have over 1,100 5-star reviews. Recon Auto Detailing. ReconDetail.com.
Don't miss out on any of the action.
Touchdown, Arizona.
Holy smokes, this offense is explosive as the University of Arizona takes on the Big 12 Conference.
Under pressure, and the ball is loose. The Cats have got it.
Back to throw. Here comes the rush. Steps up in the pocket. Rolling right. Fire on the right. Got a man open. Nobody's going to catch him. 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Arizona.
You're listening to the flagship home of Arizona Wildcats Athletics. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Last year's over, and this team's moving forward.
Progressive knows road trips without your pet can be tough.
Hi, this is Next Stop Dog Boarding.
Hi, it's Scott again. How's Squeaks doing? You can tell if he's stressed by his eyebrows. Oh, and his breathing should sound like this.
Scott, Squeaks is exactly the same as last time you called.
Okay, let's talk in 20 to see if anything's changed.
With Progressive, your pet is covered up to $1,000 in vet bills in case of a car accident. So next time, you can take your pet with you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states. Coverage for dogs and cats is included with the purchase of collision coverage and subject to policy terms.
Shop the Sherwin-Williams 4-day super sale and get 40% off paints and stains June 6th through the 9th. With prices starting at $29.39, it's the perfect time to transform your space with color. Whether you're looking to revamp your interior or exterior, we have you covered with bold hues, soothing neutrals, and everything in between. Shop the sale online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Did you know collecting sports cards is one of the fastest growing hobbies around? Whether you're looking to start or expand your collection, Showtime Cards is your ultimate destination. As one of the leading card shops in the country, they've been serving our community for over 25 years with the best in sports cards and trading card games. From rare finds to the latest releases, Showtime Cards has it all. Check them out at ShowtimeCards.com or visit them today at 5801 East Speedway. And discover why collectors everywhere trust Showtime Cards for their passion.
And now, a no-frills ad sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Here it is. You can save big when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive. That's it. See? Just a good old-fashioned, straightforward ad. See if you can save at 1-800-PROGRESSIVE or Progressive.com.
This is Andrew Bogish with a Sports Minute. If you're a hockey team and you find yourself in overtime, pray that Leon Draisaitl is on your side. The Edmonton Star won Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final last night with his third OT goal this postseason. That ties the all-time record and comes on the heels of 6 game-enders during the regular season. And now he and the Oilers are 3 wins away from Canada's first cup since '93. I'm Andrew Bogish.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/score. That's ethos.com/score.
1 in 4 Americans have a disability. I'm one of them. I'm also a working mom who cares deeply about making sure every child with a disability thrives by getting their access needs met. We've got a trusted ally by our side. Easter Seals provides children and families the foundation for lifelong success through early learning programs, skills training, and prep for college and career. That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours. Join us at easterseals.com.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. We are just under 2 months away from the start of college football. Can you believe it? It is almost that time. Again, we'll get about maybe 4 weeks of downtime once baseball and track are done before it starts all over again. Let's talk some Arizona Wildcats football. Pleased to be joined by one of the transfers on this year's roster, an eye-opening one that kind of came in during the off season out of the University of Texas. Not often that the Wildcats get a transfer from an SEC school, but Javion Cole is one of those. He's a cornerback, defensive back for the Wildcats, and not unusual, however, to or unknown, I should say, to this staff here because he was with them up at San Jose. Javion, we appreciate you taking a few minutes to join us. I guess we can kind of say that the band is back together as you're back with your crew that you were with at the beginning of your college career up at San Jose State.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
So let's kind of talk about that. Why was maybe Arizona? I mentioned you'd been with Brent Brennan and company up at San Jose State, played a season up there before the decision after he left and decided to go to Texas. Why the decision to get back with that crew here in Tucson?
And leaving Texas, I just felt like coming back to Arizona with Coach Viney and Coach Brennan was just the right decision for me. Just for the fact that at San Jose, I feel like I made a mark putting his name out there, and then him as a coach, I feel like he got me better and got my name out there also.
You mentioned Chip Viney, who's the cornerbacks coach now with the Wildcats. He too was one of the coaches that came over with Brent from San Jose State. What do you love about just kind of the being around Chip and the teachings that he does at the position?
I feel like there's different coaching styles. No matter where you go and who you play for, not every coach coaches the same. They may coach the same things, but not every coach coaches the same. And then I feel like Coach Viney, he just gives me that fire. He knows what to expect out of me, and he knows how to keep me to that standard. And I wouldn't say everybody knows how to do that. he'll always push me no matter what it is, walk through, practice, film room. He's gonna always push me to that next level. And then outside of football, like Coach Viney, he's like, I would say like an older brother, a father figure. I can talk to him more about ball, about things outside of football. So I really appreciate Coach Viney.
We're chatting with Javion Cole, redshirt junior cornerback transfer for the University of Arizona. Obviously, you made the decision to go down to Texas, compete in the SEC. What was that environment like, being on a team that obviously was able to make it to the college football playoff?
Just going to Texas, it just made me a better player overall. Although I didn't play as much, I learned a lot there. On the field, off the field, and then the city of Austin itself was just amazing for me. I spent some of my greatest moments there, I can say, over the past 6 months while I was there. And then all the environments we played in were amazing. Some you wouldn't see at other places.
Chatting with Javion Cole, and then obviously you come back here, you go through spring ball, you get here in January. How was that kind of a process to get ingratiated with this group, these players, and then going through spring practice and kind of how you got on your footing with the Wildcats?
Well, in the spring ball a month ago maybe, I wouldn't say I'm satisfied with where we are. I like where we're at. I just feel like we have some more steps to get where we want to be. We say we want to be one of the best in the country. We have some ways to go to get there. Would you repeat the last part of the question again, please?
Just kind of how did you kind of meld with your teammates and getting to know the guys and kind of melding into the group?
I feel like coming here, it wasn't really that hard. There's a lot of people from all over the world, but there's a lot of guys from back home. There's a lot of guys from LA, SoCal, a lot of guys from Cali. So it was really easy to fit in for me, a lot of West Coast guys. So I feel like we all melted along pretty well.
Chatting with Javion Cole, Arizona Wildcats defensive back. So do you play both corner and safety? Where are you more comfortable?
No. I'm not playing up top. I'm gonna stay on the outside.
You don't want nothing to do with those guys back there.
Yeah, they got it up there.
There you go. What, in terms of just the outside, are you more boundary? Which side do you prefer?
I'm not pretty sure what we're gonna do this upcoming season. I don't really prefer either or. I like to work my craft in both areas of the field. Just because at the next level there is no field or boundary, so that's where I'm at with it right now.
There you go. How would you describe your skill set in terms of how you cover, how you try to dismantle receivers and make sure you get your advantages?
At the start of my career, I would say I was an elite, like just elite off man. I had ways to work in press man, but I feel like I'm a balanced player now. I can do both. I can tackle when need be. So I'm gonna say I'm a balanced player overall.
Who are some of the other guys in that cornerback room that kind of stood out to you during the spring process?
I feel like in our corner room, I'm actually excited to see what we do this upcoming season, just because we have a lot of talent, a lot of guys that have played a lot of snaps, a lot of guys that have played at different positions at different levels, and we get to compete with each other. So like Michael Dansby, he's coming in with me. I put him at San Jose. Aiden Garnes, a guy that just transferred from West V. We have Marquise, we have Jono. Then we have a bunch of young guys coming in. So I feel like our room is going to be pretty good just because we all going to compete with each other.
And obviously one of the things I was looking at during the spring was just the plethora of wide receivers that are on this roster this year. Were there one or two guys that stood out to you? Obviously, Chris Hunter's a guy that comes back. Played a lot at the end of the season for this squad. Trey Spivey's a kid that's coming in here from Kansas State. You got Luke Weissong, just a possession kind of guy in the middle. Who were some of the guys that you guarded, and what were your takeaways?
Chris Hunter and Trey Spivey, for the most part, was the two that I had on the outside. Brandon Phelps also was a guy that I had on the outside with me. Some bigger bodies, they're bigger size than me. I'm a smaller corner, so those are some bigger bodies that we'll get to see this year a lot. And then Chris Hudson, our slot receiver, we've seen him a lot. So he gave me a little bit of speed out there. So I'm excited to see what they do as well.
Javion Cole joining us, redshirt junior cornerback for the Wildcats. You mentioned your size, 5'10". How do you try to overcome that when you're dealing with taller receivers on the outside?
Honestly, I don't really care for the size out there. At the end of the day, they have to get off the ball. They have to catch the ball. At the end of the day, so the size doesn't really affect me. They like to throw a lot of jump balls, and I really choose myself over them at all times.
When you look at obviously where we are right now in this phase of the summer, the beginning of the summer, have you guys started the player run practices yet? How are those going? And what are your goals now over the course of the next say 50 plus days as we get closer to fall camp?
As we get closer to fall camp, my goal is for me to be able to communicate with my teammates. I haven't played a game with them yet, so just going off of spring ball, we still have some phases to go. And I want to build that bond with them on and off the field. So when come game time, August 30th, against Hawaii, we're ready to play with each other.
What are your impressions of some of those veteran DBs back there? Guys like, Traden Stukes and Dalton Johnson, obviously the leaders of this ball club on the defensive side.
They come with a lot of maturity, both Dalton and Stukes, both mature. They have some knowledge that most wouldn't have, just because they've played a lot. They've been here for a minute, so they know what it comes with being an Arizona Wildcat. They know what it should look like just being with the 23 season. So they know what it is to win.
You mentioned, obviously, you didn't get a chance to play a lot last year against with the Longhorns, but you did get an interception last year. Break down that play for me, how that came about.
That play was actually a broken play. It was a busted coverage, and it was a terrible ball thrown by the quarterback. And once I seen it in the air, I just turned into the receiver just because there's no reason they should be taking a shot at that point in the game.
There you go. There you go. Javion Cole joining us. He's a cornerback, redshirt junior for your Arizona Wildcats. He'll be competing to be a part of this defense. And when you look at what were the guys talking about in terms of obviously the disappointments for last season? Obviously there was, the Wildcats were coming off an Alamo Bowl win 2 years ago, didn't have the season that they wanted to have last year. What were some of the conversations you're hearing about how guys want to make that right and be more successful this year?
For us this year, well, with this new team that we have throughout the spring and the winter since we've been together, we try not to talk about last year just because last year was last year. It's a totally different locker room with all the players leaving last year and all the new faces coming in. But I feel like a lot of last year was a want to and an effort aspect. And that's something that we strive on this year. Like, effort is one of our main things that we focus on in school and football. So I feel like just the want to. I feel like it's a different want to this year, and a lot of guys want it more than it was last year.
This is your fourth school because you actually started at Cal Poly out there and down in San Luis Obispo. What have you learned about and what would you tell folks about how players are now quickly acclimating themselves to new situations? And what advice would you give to younger players that might be in the transfer portal next year and how they should quickly, try to get on their feet when they get to a new spot?
To a young player that would be hitting the portal this upcoming season, I would just tell them to go to where they feel like home is, to go where they feel they would be happy. The biggest places are not always the best places, not always the greatest fit for you. But then at the end of the day, I would just feel like go with your right mind. Don't let anyone make that decision for you.
What do you like about Tucson so far?
I'm still getting to know Tucson a little bit.
Okay.
I've been on Scottsdale a little bit. I'm trying to get used to the food places out here.
You got a favorite spot
really
yet? Got a favorite restaurant spot yet?
I would say I don't even remember the name of it. It's a Mexican spot out here though on Campbell.
Okay. There's quite a few of those. We'll have to check back with you later and get the name of it. Make sure we got that on our list too.
Yeah, I'm going to get that to y'all.
There you go. Javion, hey, we appreciate you taking a few minutes to join us. Looking forward to the start of fall camp coming up here at the beginning of August and seeing you out on the field making plays for the Arizona Wildcats.
A pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Javion Cole, red shirt junior cornerback for the Arizona Wildcats. He'll be playing in his first season this year. He started his career at Cal Poly, played in 11 games there, started 9, then he went to San Jose State. As you heard him say, was with Chip Viney and Brent Brennan there. And then over to Texas, and now here in Tucson, playing with the Arizona Wildcats out of Oakland, California. Javion Cole. All right, that's hour number 1. We've got a short hour 2 coming up for you. We'll be out of here at 4:45 for Women's College World Series action, Game 2, Texas State. We'll dive into what happened there last night. Unbelievable turn of events that allowed Texas to win Game 1 over Texas Tech. DK on the Sports Tip. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the Auto Nation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic. Collisions reported Mountain near Fort Lowell on Mountain Avenue to the south of Fort Lowell. Country Club and FEMA and Country Club and on Kolb near Valencia. Kolb Road south of Valencia. 70 the overnight low, 100 sunny tomorrow, 103 this weekend, 97 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by Straight Talk Wireless. Straight Talk might not be on your shopping list, but it should be. Next time you're grabbing some milk off the shelf at your local Walmart, stop by the Straight Talk aisle and switch to real unlimited data. It's quick and convenient. It won't even take up room in your cart.
Nobody covers your Cats like we do, with press conferences, coaches shows, and play-by-play.
It is over. Cats have won it.
We bring you all the stories, highlights, and analysis of your Arizona Wildcats. We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
So hot. Hi, can I help you?
Good afternoon. We're with Goodfellas AC Rapid Response Team.
But I didn't call yet.
That's how fast we are, man.
Just as I thought, this AC is out.
No, we're not gonna lose it. Come on. Don't you die on me.
Johnson, get a hold of yourself. Sorry, we take this very seriously.
Wow, you fellas are good.
It's not just a name, ma'am.
It's who we are kind of thing.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. Goodfellasac.com.
Back to Eugene Snarkle, rising UberTube star, and his best friend, Doug.
Eugene, you've been working on my car's brakes for 3 days now. Is there a problem? And what's with all the orange stuff on your t-shirt?
Research, Doug.
The orange stuff is research?
No, I'm doing research for my next UberTube video on fixing brakes. I need the Chizo snack food to power my 72-hour video binges. It gets a little messy, but I'm willing to make the sacrifice.
It looks like the only sacrifice is my car, and maybe that white t-shirt covered in Chizo dust.
So, can you hand me that metal thingy?
You mean this wrench?
Well, if that's what you want to call it.
Eugene, I need my keys. I'm heading to Jack Furrier's.
Great choice, Doug. You know, brake repair doesn't have to be expensive to be good. At Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, we've been providing award-winning service since 1960, including top-quality brake repairs at the best prices in town. Call, stop by, or go online to make an appointment. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, here to get you there.
When Ram won its first Motor Trend Truck of the Year, it was celebrated. But after 7 times, what's left to say? The trophy speaks for itself. And now, so does the deal with Employee Pricing Plus. Stop by your local dealer today and take home a Ram truck. Ram, 7-time Motor Trend Truck of the Year. Nothing stops Ram. Offer valid on select 2024 and 2025 Rams for non-FCA employees and retirees. $200 admin fee applies. Not all buyers will qualify. Restrictions apply. Does not apply to leases. See dealer for details. And 6/30/25. Ram is a registered trademark of FCA US LLC.
When you hear
crunch,
whine, boing,
Alaskan AC will arrive to fix it in less than 24 hours from the first crunch,
whine, boing. No matter what kind of
crunch,
whine, or boing your AC is making.
We fix it on your schedule.
That's huge. We guarantee to be there in 24 hours or less, or the repair is free. We not only get there fast, we Polar Bear promise we'll get the job done right.
We believe you deserve fresh air free of humidity in every room of your home, and you should never hear crunch,
Wine. Boing.
If you do, call Alaskan AC and we guarantee we'll be there in under 24 hours.
If we don't make it, your repair will be free. No matter how big the crunch.
Boing.
Or whine. Wait, I thought I was whine. You're crunch.
I'm Crunch. You're boing.
I don't think I'm boing. Gary's more of a boing than me. William is crunch. Schedule now and tell us who boing is. Only at AlaskanAC.com.
Arizona baseball is on the hunt for a 5th national championship.
Then the ball gets away, and here comes Mason White, and we are tied at 4.
Catch all the postseason action with Brian Jeffries right here on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Accidents cause hassles as big as the Grand Canyon.
So we're hitting the road to spread the word about the bird.
The Eagle at Goldberg and Osborne.
Freeway fiasco in Flagstaff.
Hurt in Havasu?
Totaled in Tucson?
No worries. The Eagle has offices across the state. From Kingman
to Sierra Vista, where they fight hard to get you more.
So relax and ride on.
Because the bird is the word.
Visit Goldberg and Osborne at 1-800-THEEAGLE.com.
Your home for everything Arizona Wildcats. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290, KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Here's Kavon's 0-2, swinging a pop-up, right side. Mitchell, the first baseman underneath it, makes the catch, and Texas takes game 1. Tegan Kavon goes the distance. Reese Atwood drives in 2, and the Texas Longhorns win game 1 of the best-of-3 championship series, a 2-1 victory over Texas Tech.
There you go. So the Texas Longhorns can win the national championship tonight with a victory over Texas Tech. You'll hear it right here on Wildcats Radio 1290. Game 2 of the Women's College World Series. Coverage with Ryan Radke, the Arizona Wildcat grad, class of 1998. Will commence in about 44 minutes, 4:45 broadcast time for game number 2. Wild. Game number 1 between the Longhorns and the Red Raiders. The Red Raiders have the best pitcher in the country in Nyjah Kennedy, and her team got her a run on a controversial play. You know, I saw somebody tweet over the weekend that we've got way too many. The tweet was, we've got way too many rules in women's college softball. And I would tend to agree with that because they seem to have all popped up in this College World Series. The latest rule was you can't have your foot in the baseline while a runner is trying to slide into that base. That's obstruction. And as a result of that, Texas lost a caught stealing in the game last night that led to Texas Tech's only run of the contest because the girl who was stealing, who initially was ruled out, caught stealing, was awarded second base, and then Texas Tech got a single to drive her in. So they're winning 1-0. And then you've got runners on second and third in the 6th inning for Texas, and Texas A&M and Nyjah Kennedy try to execute an intentional walk, and they could not get that done.
Here comes ball 4 from Kent. Oh, Atwood swings and it's into the left field, a base hit. 1 run scores. Here comes Scott. She will score. Atwood with a 2-run single, and Texas leads 2-1. After 3 intentional balls, Atwood swung at number 4 and grounded it into left field. She drives in 2, and the Longhorns have the lead.
I almost expected him to say, "How do you do?" at the end of that. Unbelievable. Again, Nyjah Kennedy, and she said after the game, "Hey, I don't walk a lot of people. I don't do a lot of intentional walks, but I've got to know how to do that." And I didn't get it done. She stood up there. She answered the question. She took the blame, said it was her fault. Yeah, I've got to know what I'm doing. I'm a junior. There's no excuse for that. She put that ball right over the plate. And again, obviously in college softball and college baseball, you still got to make those pitches. And in professional baseball now, you can just say, give the person first base, and you don't have to execute that anymore. But you still have to execute that, and man, oh, man. She hit the last pitch, the 3-0 pitch, but all three of the pitches prior to that were right on the plate. I'm like, I'm watching, I'm thinking, man, I think if I was the catcher, I'd be another foot over off the plate. I don't know I'm not sure if there's a rule on how far or how close they have to be to the plate on those. Maybe cannot be standing outside the box prior to the pitch. You have to be in the box as the catcher, and then the ball, you can go outside the box, obviously, to get the pitch. But wow, just a huge, huge mistake that cost Texas Tech Game 1 of the World Series. And now they'll be playing from behind, having to see if they can win tonight. And Nyjah Kennedy's getting the ball. She's got the ball the entire time. They're not giving it to anybody else to try to get Texas Tech to a Game 3, which, if they can do that, will be tomorrow night right here on Wildcats Radio 1290. You will hear that game as well. Now, also at the game last night, because, there's a lot going on in Oklahoma City, Game 1 of the NBA Finals is tonight. So at the game last night was one Richard Jefferson. Richard Jefferson on the broadcast crew for ABC and the NBA Finals took his sons to Game 1 of the Women's College World Series. NCAA softball reporter Michaela Chester caught up with Richard Jefferson.
All right, I'm here with Richard Jefferson at the Women's College World Series. Just tell me, what drew you here? What brought you to the game?
So I am a softball fan growing up. My high school girlfriend played at Texas A&M. She won Big 12 Player of the Year. Selena Collins, I don't know if that's her last name right now. Then I went to Arizona. I was freshman with Jenny Finch. And so we were all in the same freshman class. So watched her win the national championship. My last year, we lost the national championship, and she used to make fun of me for that. And then I was fortunate enough to watch them win the gold medal in the Olympics, because we were all in the Olympics at the same time. So whenever you get an opportunity to support women's sports, support women's softball, especially being an Arizona kid, this is awesome. My boys are here. I'm calling the NBA Finals tomorrow. This was an opportunity. So I was like, I got you. I'm in.
Well, what do you think of the atmosphere, the environment, watching it so far? What are your thoughts?
Well, when I say this is a once-in-a-lifetime event, it's because the chances of me being in Oklahoma at this time is very, very rare. And so, again, like I said, when I had the opportunity, again, my boys, come here, boys, get your butts over here. Come on in, sit down. So my boys are here. And so, again, for me, I've known so many softball players growing up, and they've supported me. So the opportunity to come and support women's sports and seeing all even the cancer survivors here, this has been like next level. So this is a great experience for me, but more importantly, I like to show my boys how important it is to support sports and support women, and this is just a great opportunity.
Well, I love that. Thanks so much for coming out. You boys having fun at the game? You guys having fun? Oh, you rooting for the Red Raiders?
Yeah.
All right. Well, you heard it here first. Yeah. Thanks so much.
No problem.
Gotta love Richard Jefferson, man. Gotta love that guy. Great ambassador of the University of Arizona. Has always been a huge supporter of the sports programs here, and really setting a great example with his sons, taking them out to see a little college softball. That was awesome to see last night. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. All right, he is there because of the finals, the NBA Finals, which start tonight. Indiana and Oklahoma City. We told you yesterday, we got and we'll get into our BetMGM here shortly, but our folks over at BetMGM say take the Pacers in this one. So that's what and I wasn't sure we were going to do that, but Dragon Ball signed off on it. He said take the Pacers at plus 500. The Thunder are minus 715 to win this thing. Who do you like, J-Dub, in the NBA Finals?
We only have a minute. You're asking me to give you my opinion in a minute.
Oh, we got plenty. We got time. Yeah, no. We don't. Our guests aren't here until 4:20.
I mean, you know how I feel. I mean, I've talked about the Thunder nonstop for 3 years since you started back at the station, and the Pacers are my favorite team to watch. I watched 30 Pacers games this year alone. And the idea between the difference between what these two teams do and the ISO nature of the Thunder leading to open threes, and obviously Chet Holmgren being a bit of a mismatch problem versus the Pacers' running game, DK. I mean, the one thing I will say about the Thunder is the Pacers have gone through the East because Thibodeau got fired. He plays 6-7 guys. You can't play 7 guys versus this Pacers team. The Thunder may be deeper than the Indiana Pacers, so that whole concept is out the window. It's not. I mean, the Thunder are heavily favored in this game, in this series. Winning the series, I would love to see T.J. McConnell and Benedict Mathurin get a championship, and I don't think that they win more than 2 games. I think the Thunder, the style of defense that the Thunder play, they got 4 all-league perimeter defenders, and that's something that the Knicks had a big issues guarding that, the wave upon wave of perimeter players coming from the Pacers and the Pacers bench. It'll be interesting to see how healthy Aaron Nesmith is. He got a little banged up there at the end of that Knicks series, and he's a huge part. I mean, he was the guy primarily responsible for guarding Knick perimeter players, mostly Brunson out there. As far as the overall series, I'm more concerned about one game at a time, DK. I mean, I'm not talking about the whole series. I'm worried about tonight. I think the Pacers definitely could steal one game in Oklahoma, maybe catch them a little bit off guard. Shea, sometimes his jumper isn't always super nice. Sometimes he doesn't get 15 free throw attempts, and he's the one that makes their offense go. If any of those things happen tonight, I could definitely see the Pacers have surprised everybody that hasn't been paying attention all playoffs long. They did it last year too. I just am happy for the matchup. I don't have a rooting interest in either of those two teams, DK. I'm not going to bet on either of these two teams to win this series. What I'm going to be doing is sitting at home with a beer in one hand and a big old smile on my face because I've praised the Carlisle system of passing game, team mentality, find the open man, no selfish players on that Pacers team. Shea, budding superstar, newly minted MVP, and the litany of great players that the Oklahoma City Thunder have on their roster. And what do I talk about, DK? I talk about the sideline after game reporting where every single Thunder member comes over and does the interview together as a team. Bunch of young goofballs, but team first. Team first from the Pacers side, team first from the Oklahoma City side. I honestly don't care who wins this championship. Both these teams are well-deserving, and neither of these fan bases have ever had a championship, right?
Yeah.
Pacers, 70s ABA. You got to go back to the Sonics, which was not Oklahoma City. So Oklahoma City's franchise has never won. The Pacers in the NBA have never won. Either of these two teams will be their first. I'm just really, really happy these two teams made it, so you don't have to hear the endless litany about the superstars. We actually get to hear about the team basketball because it's the two best teams. Two best teams made it to the finals, and I'm overjoyed to watch great basketball these next week and a half.
All right, before we get to cricket, let's give you your BetMGM Network top play for today.
The NBA Finals begin tonight. I'm Sammy Pete, here to help you beat the books with the BetMGM Network. Tyrese Halliburton has burst onto the scene this postseason, but I'm looking to short the Pacers star. His points, rebounds, assists number tonight, 31.5, and I think that Thunder defense will swarm the ball out of his hands. Take the under, 31.5. I'm Sammy Pete from the BetMGM Network. Bet smarter and beat the books. Download the BetMGM app today, and please gamble responsibly.
Well, apparently the BetMGM Network folks also like the defensive side for the Thunder. Under 31.5 points, rebounds, and assists for Tyrese Halliburton. That sounds a little risky to me, but we'll take that, I guess. Minus 120. So your $12.90 bet over at the Desert Diamond Casino will get you back $10.84. I'm also going to throw, they didn't give us this one, but I'm going to throw it in because the Mercury are back home tonight. They'll be playing the Valkyries from Golden State. And I've got the Mercury minus 6.5 over the Valkyries tonight at minus 107. So $12.13 back if you take the Mercury tonight to win over Golden State. First of a 3-game homestand for the Mercury up in the Valley. All right, cricket joins us now, and Lord be, what do we have here? Cricket is missing
I'm not wearing a hat.
You're missing something there, Cricket. Where's your ball cap?
My ball cap. I just thought I'd be different today.
Oh my goodness. I'm trying to remember if there's ever been a time that I've seen you without your ball cap.
There's a couple times.
Couple times?
Maybe like half a dozen
All right.
times.
So is this an urge you get regularly, maybe just to be different, or what kind of spurred this difference thing today?
Just being different.
Just being different.
Yeah. I feel like being a little wacky today, you know?
A little wacky.
Yeah.
Is this because it was Shannon's birthday? Happy birthday, Shannon, by the way.
Yay, happy birthday to Shannon.
I think they had that thing taped up on, I put it on your seat, but they had it taped up on the door and it fell off.
Oh gosh, that thing was a pain in the neck. It was decoration.
Did you usually put that up? You decorate that for her generally, don't you?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. How old is she now? Can we say that?
You know, she's always been very open about her age, but I would let her do that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? She's always very open and very proud of her age.
What did you get her for her birthday?
I got her a champagne chilling bucket.
Ooh.
I got her 2 bottles of Snoop Dogg champagne.
Yeah.
A champagne stopper, to keep it fizzy. And she laughed and said, "You know, that's funny that you think I have a bottle of champagne around that long. that I need to keep it fizzy."
There you go. All right. Well, happy birthday to Shannon and many, many more for sure. All right, Cricket is here, hatless, but still able to get you your traffic every 20 minutes on the fives. We're going to talk some soccer. FC Tucson's in the house next.
All right. From the Auto Nation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio, 1290 traffic and weather together. Collisions that are reported: Ajo Highway in San Joaquin, Mountain Avenue south of Fort Lowell, Midtown Country Club in Pimas clearing earlier crash Kolb Road south of Valencia. Also 36th Street near Country Club, a reported gas leak. 70 the overnight low, 100 and sunny tomorrow, and 103 this weekend. 98 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio, 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Summit Racing Equipment.
This Father's Day, grab great gearhead gifts at Summit Racing. You'll find parts, tools, accessories, apparel, and more. Or give the perfect card, a Summit Racing gift card. Fast shipping, massive inventory, and expert tech advice are a click away at summitracing.com.
Sponsored by Rumble. Join millions who trust Rumble's top live streaming personalities to break down the news that matters in real time. Miss the live stream? Catch the full video replay on demand with zero censorship. Download the Rumble app from your Apple Play or Google Play store today and choose from thousands of creators covering everything from financial markets to daily events and more. Choose an open internet and free expression. Choose rumble.com today.
O'Reilly. Check engine, ABS, or maintenance light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. The service is free and provides a report with solutions verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we could recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Yeah, Goodfellas AC.
Hi, can I get a second opinion from you guys on something?
Of course. It's what we're here for.
So, my wife's brother claimed he'd done some AC repair before.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, and now there's kind of a rope and pulley situation that opens the freezer door and a fan inside turns on to cool off the house.
Huh, very creative.
Really?
No, not at all. Next time, call us first, yeah?
Yeah.
Call Goodfellas AC for free estimates and second opinions. Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
You know it. Your neighbors know it. And let's face it, the mailman knows it too. Your yard just isn't what it used to be. But thankfully, Dorado Rock Materials can get you, well, your yard anyway, back to what it once was. And even better. Dorado Rock and Materials has just what your yard needs, from decorative rock to boulders and everything in between, brought right to you. And if you need help spreading it, we can help with that too. Dorado Rock and Materials. The right service, the right product, the right price.
JT Auto, where customers are family. Trust your vehicle to JT Auto professional and reliable automotive repair and maintenance services. JT Auto is conveniently located off Fort Lowell and Country Club. Open Monday through Friday. JT Auto is a full-service auto shop with satisfaction guaranteed, offering you the best in tires and wheels, auto repair, oil changes, computer diagnostics, suspension and brake service, and heating and AC. Bring your car to JT Auto, where customers are family. 623-7066. That's 623-7066.
Sponsored by Rumble. From spicy podcasts to wild live streams, there's always something new on Rumble. Watch, comment, and connect with a real community that's actually awake. Comment in the live chat and talk directly to your favorite streamers. Rumble provides you with your daily dose of uncensored fun, facts, and fire. Download the Rumble app from your Apple Play or Google Play Store today. Choose an open internet and free expression. Choose rumble.com today.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
Is it hot in here or is it just me?
Honey, I always think you're hot, but it's June, and we all know it's going to get hot in Tucson. It doesn't have to be hot in our house.
Honey, you should call Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing. They have the solutions for us.
For all your air conditioning needs, call today, 520-492-0748.
Or visit us at picturerockscooling.com.
Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
Progressive Commercial Insurance can protect your small business with over 30 coverage options, an easy-to-use mobile app, personalized discounts, and more. Get a quote in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Discounts and coverage selections not available in all states or situations.
I'm Omar Reese with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. Micah Parsons says he will be at Cowboys mandatory minicamp next week, posting on his social media, quote, "I will be there. I haven't missed a minicamp in 4 years. Even though the contract is not done, I have teammates and a playbook. I'm preparing as if I will be on the field the first week of camp. But it's in the owner's hands. I'm ready to win a Super Bowl." Speaking of Super Bowls, the defending champs, their running back Saquon Barkley dropped some intriguing retirement news. While talking on the Greenlight podcast, Barkley saying, quote, "I'll probably be one of those guys that it'll be out of nowhere. I'll probably just wake up one day, whether it's next year or 2 years or 4 years, and just be like, yeah, it's over." Elsewhere, the Browns have officially signed rookie quarterback Dylan Gabriel. Cleveland selecting Gabriel in the 3rd round of this year's draft, the first, of course, of their 2 quarterbacks selected. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
Are you a parent of a 2 to 8-year-old? Listen closely for an exciting offer, then head to abcmouse.com/radio to learn more. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
We're offering a promo at abcmouse.com/radio to try it for free for a month, then $14.99 per month until canceled. Go to abcmouse.com/radio to see this offer. That's abcmouse.com/radio. Actual ABC Mouse users compensated for their testimonials, sponsored by Age of Learning.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime. We're not here to be the biggest. We're here to bring you something we believe is better. Our plans start at just $20. You'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Don't forget to download the Wildcats Radio app. It slaps. All of the information you need to know about things happening in southern Arizona can be found on the Wildcats Radio 1290 app. Brought to you by Goodfellas Home Solutions. All right. Yesterday, we had the head coach for the FC Tucson women's team, Kaylee Carter, stopped by. Today, it's the fellas. Last week, we had FC Tucson. 2 weeks in a row now, we've had FC Tucson in studio with us, and they are coming off one heck of a big win last weekend. Pleased to be joined by DeAndre Pickett, defender. Daniel Idiakoa is a midfielder. They won 19-0 last Friday night over Coachella Soccer Club. And first of all, let me ask you this: how many goals did you have, DeAndre?
I had one.
You had one.
Yeah.
And Daniel, did you get to score?
I was actually at home. I had a bit of a cold.
Oh, my goodness. So I only have one of the 19 goals here. I thought, I was like, man, I had the under on that. I said under 8 maybe. Let's see if either of these guys, if they were sending me, which is unusual because DeAndre, you're kind of even though you're a defender, I mean, you've generally scored a little bit at your different levels, right?
Yeah, I like to get on the score sheet when I can.
So what was that like last Friday night? Did you think, DeAndre, that, I mean, I didn't know Coachella was that bad. Did you guys know that it was going to kind of be that kind of game?
Nah, obviously going into every game is like a clean slate. Just got to show the opponents like the respect. So just going in, giving it 100%. Like we knew we couldn't give up points in like such a tight race with Ventura, who we play on July 3rd. So we know every point's going to be every game's going to be important from going on. And then we have a youth night this Friday to end the homestand before we get on the road.
Yeah, Ventura County is always one of the top teams in that league. So the goals start piling up, been piling up. Had you ever been a part of a game like that?
In high school at Tucson High, I think we beat a team 12-0.
Okay.
I think that's the closest I've gotten. So that's still a lot off.
And Daniel, you're from Nigeria, you said?
Yeah, my parents are from Nigeria. I was actually born in the Republic of Ireland and then grew up in England.
Oh, wow. So, man, that's an interesting backstory. So your parents are from Nigeria. You were born in Ireland, grew up in England. Where, London or where in England?
Just outside London, the countryside. It's a place called Milton Keynes.
Okay, so what brought you here to the United States?
Well, once I got done playing for Luton Town, I sort of heard about the opportunity to go out to the States and sort of play full time and while studying and, work towards a degree. And it was just something that sort of aligned with what I wanted to do. So yeah, it was a no-brainer once I had the offers come in.
So you've landed out in Los Angeles at Loyola Marymount University. That's the only school you've been to?
Yeah.
What was attractive about that program and being on that? It's a beautiful campus there.
Yeah. Obviously, as you said, the campus, the location in LA is obviously very nice. And then speaking with my coaches at LMU, the beliefs they have there aligned with what I wanted to, sort of aim towards with my career. And yeah, the opportunity in general was just really good and had to take it.
Now, have you ever been a part of a 19-0 game?
I can't say I have been. Hopefully soon to come.
Now, you mentioned you had a little bit of an illness last Friday night. So were you watching the game on the internet? Did you know what was happening at the yard?
Yeah, unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it down to the keynote to support the boys. So I just had it up on the TV, and I watched the full game. So
what were your thoughts as it was unfolding?
Obviously, it was nice to see the boys scoring goals and doing well. But I think the more important thing was we were building off, some very good wins, and our performance in general was very good. We were ruthless, and yeah, it was good to see the boys playing well.
Now, how did you find this FC Tucson? Were you looking for a USL2 opportunity? Had you played USL2 before? How did you come to FC Tucson?
So it's my first time playing USL2. One of my coaches at Loyola Marymount referred FC Tucson to me. Got on the phone with Sebastian. He sort of told me about the program and the aims, and yeah, it was an easy decision from there. So.
Chatting with Daniel Idiakoa and DeAndre Pickett from FC Tucson. They are undefeated to start their season in USL2. Got to the Western Conference Finals last year. Obviously, DeAndre, you were part of that experience. You really only know winning. I mean, Tucson High, you guys won over there. Pima, you go up to Pima, you guys won there. How do you take that winning mentality into now this summer side here for the second straight year?
It's kind of like not bring the mentality too, because I know having the Western Conference title like over their heads, like everyone wants to come to Keno and beat us. but just going to work every single day. So Coach Sebas has a game plan every week, and we're just gonna listen. Like he's a Western Conference champion coach for a reason. So we're just gonna continue to listen to everything he says every week, and then go on the weekends and play in front of the best USL League 2 fans at Kino.
Yeah, second year with Sebastian Pineda as the head coach. What's kind of been cool about learning the game from him?
He was my club coach
Wow.
for half a year. So just talking about that, seeing like just growing together. Because 3 years ago he was the assistant coach, and he brought me in to be like a training player to learn from all the older guys. So him having that trust in me has just gone a long way. So whenever he calls, it'll always be a phone call I have to answer.
Now, have you signed to go to the next level yet?
Yeah. I just came down from spring. I signed to play at Cal.
Cal Berkeley. Wow. Now that's an awesome opportunity. ACC, very good school. I mean, what are you going to be studying there, Cal?
It's either between American Studies and Media Studies. I got to see if a couple PIMA classes transferred. So I'll be deciding like mid-August.
So now you were there in the spring for the spring semester. So what was that like? Did you guys have practices and workouts and all of that?
Yeah, we practiced, I want to say 5 times a week. We worked out twice, and we had like a spring schedule. We played 6 games.
Oh wow! So did you get on the pitch and how'd that go?
Yeah, I started every game. I played, I think, an average of like 75, 80 minutes.
Wow, outstanding. I mean, it's kind of cool to be able to watch your progression through high school and then being a star at Pima and now having this opportunity at the Division I level. When you were looking at schools, what were you looking for, and why was maybe Cal the deciding factor there?
I was looking for schools. It was a process that me and my parents went through, and just looking for the soccer program. Obviously, the academics was a huge part of it too, and just feeling like going on all my. I took 5 visits last fall. I went to Portland, Gonzaga, Marquette, San Diego State, and then Cal, and just you kind of just know once you touch down on campus, and just get the feeling like Coach Leonard was in North Carolina for when they played Duke and UNC, and it's like 2:00 over there, and that's when Pima won the region title, and he was calling me. Like that kind of just showed the kind of person Coach Leonard is. Just he obviously cared about what I could bring to the table at Cal, and I trusted him. So,
all right. So tell me the best thing you like about Daniel as a teammate and the way he plays the game.
You could just give him the ball if he's got 3 players on him, and he'll do the rest for you. That makes my life so much easier.
So he's a dribbler? Is he a dribbler, passer? What's his best aspect there?
Everything. Everything.
Daniel, what do you love most about playing with DeAndre? What's he do well?
I would say how composed he is on the ball at the back. You know, it's good to have a ball playing center back and someone who can find you under pressure. Off the ball as well, he's aggressive, he's quick, and you know he's able to lock down the defense, and that's what you need as a defender. So it's great.
There you go. Who are some of the other guys on the team that are really standing out so far through the first 3 games?
I feel like it's everybody. We got what's the total goals? It's like I think it's like 26, something like that. So it's always going to be a team effort.
I guess at the end of the season, goal differential is not going to be a problem.
Yeah,
after you win a game 19-0.
Yeah, let's hope we don't have to get to that, but yeah, that should definitely help it.
Daniel, growing up obviously in Europe and being around this game from that standpoint where it is so incredibly popular, who were your teams growing up that you watched? Who were the guys, the players that you loved watching?
As a kid growing up, I would say Barcelona.
Barcelona.
That was my team. I love Messi. And then my English Premier League team's Everton, a bit of an underdog team, but yeah, great club, massive club as well. So.
Who's the kid? And his name's not coming to me, but and I forget the tournament. But a couple years ago, English player, young kid, had a chance to make a penalty kick and didn't make it. What's that young kid's name?
Bukayo Saka?
Yeah. Is he a guy that young players look up to in England?
Definitely. Bukayo Saka, he's a top winger, playing for Arsenal, a very good team at the highest level. So I would say definitely players look up to him in England as well, especially. Seeing the way he bounced back from such a setback is a really important thing, I think, to take from that as well. He's had a good year at Arsenal, so Yeah, I'd say he's definitely a person that's a lot of people in England and everywhere probably look up to.
Now you've got, you've got Nigeria. You were born in Ireland. You grew up in England, so you could play. Could you play for any three of those national teams if you were able to ascend to that level?
Yeah, I would be able to play for any three.
Do you have a choice which one you would want to play for?
So I've represented Ireland at under 19s level, but all three countries are a big part of me. So it's definitely something I'm still thinking about moving forward in the future.
What did it mean for you to be able to put on the country colors and play, like you mentioned, U19 and represent Ireland now on an international stage?
Honestly, it was a really humbling feeling. Probably one of the biggest honors I've had growing up in my life. Yes, I was born in Ireland. I grew up in Ireland, so I have a lot of good memories from there. And to represent my country was probably one of the biggest honors I've had in my life. So it was great.
All right, DeAndre, Daniel's in Tucson, I would imagine, for the first time. So what have you been telling him about your hometown? Where have you taken him here in your hometown?
So this is the third summer in a row. Like you got the guys coming in who have never been to Tucson. I always tell them EGs. That's always they're like.
Have you had any EGs yet, Daniel?
Not yet.
Not yet?
Not
Okay, there's
yet.
one right down the street. When you guys get out of here, just head on down to Oracle about a half a mile on the left-hand side. You can get that EG. You guys got practice tonight, or you guys already practiced?
We already practiced.
You already practiced, so they're even perfect. You don't have to ruin your evening. Just go down there and get you an EG's on the way out, down the road on the left. What flavor would you recommend for him?
You gotta get the flavor of the month. But I usually get pina colada, but you gotta get the flavor of the month. You always gotta try it at least once.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys have a game coming up this week, ending up this homestand. Obviously, you want us to finish it out on a strong suit. What are you looking at this opponent coming up on Friday night?
Coming off they just played at Ventura, so coming off a tough loss, so we know they're gonna want to bounce back. So we've been working.
This is a AMSG. I think this is one of the newer teams in the league.
Yeah,
I think they were in the team last year.
Yeah, I think they
first
joined.
year.
Yeah. But yeah, coming off a tough loss like that, you know they're gonna want to bounce back and get 3 points, especially at Keno. So we've been working on some defensive stuff throughout the week. Coach Seba's been getting us ready. So we're gonna be ready for youth night to play in front of a good crowd and hopefully get 3 points.
There you go. What's your favorite of the kits that you guys have?
I'd probably go gray. I like the gray one.
Gray.
I like the gray one.
Gray one. How about you, Daniel? Which one do you like?
I'd probably go with the all black kit.
I like the all black kit too, because it's really I don't know how far you guys go back in the knowledge of the program, but even from the start, we used to call them the boys in black. So whenever you guys wear the black kit, I think that's one of my favorite ones for sure. Well, guys, hey, we appreciate you stopping by. Thanks for coming in. Best of luck this weekend. I don't know if you'll be able to put up another 19-0 game, but keep scoring them goals. And we got to get you guys on the scorecard. I got to get you on the scorecard, Daniel. So work on that for us, all right? They'll be playing this Friday night, 6 o'clock. Versus I don't have the time. I think it's this Friday night. Let me get you the time here real quick so I know. It's 6 o'clock. Yeah, this Friday night, 6 o'clock. Out at Keno North Stadium, FC Tucson, and AMSG FC. Good luck, fellas.
All right, thank you.
All right, that is going to wrap up our show for today. We'd like to thank these two gentlemen, Daniel Ikiada. I knew I was going to mess that up again. Idiakoa for coming in, DeAndre Pickett, Javion Cole from Arizona Football, Dave Nathan, broadcaster for North Carolina Baseball. Again, Wildcats and Tar Heels tomorrow, 8:50 coverage with Brian Jeffries, 9 o'clock first pitch. You'll hear it all right here. Thanks to J-Dub. Thanks to Cricket. I'm David Kelly. That's our time for tonight. We'll talk to you tomorrow. DK on the Sports Tip at 3. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the Auto Nation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Earlier collisions, Kolb Road south of Valencia, Country Club in Pima, Mountain Avenue south of Fort Lowell, and also Ajo Highway in San Joaquin. 36th Street west of Country Club, that earlier reported gas leak has been cleared. 70 the overnight low, 100 sunny tomorrow, 103 this weekend, 98 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Dairy Queen. Hurry into DQ for their sauced and tossed chicken strip baskets with flavor from the top, bottom, and everywhere in between. Try them today in Honey Barbecue or New Buffalo, only at DQ. Happy tastes good, only at participating Dairy Queen locations.
Discover luxury at BMW of Tucson, your premier BMW dealership. Explore our extensive inventory, lease specials, and state-of-the-art service. Visit us at the Tucson Auto Mall or at bmwoftucson.com today.
My best friend died suddenly, and now his wife and kids have to move out of their house. I had no idea he didn't have life insurance. If I could go back, I'd tell him how easy and affordable protecting your family can be with SelectQuote. In 15 minutes, a licensed insurance agent found me a $500,000 life insurance policy for only $18 a month. They compare many of the nation's most highly rated insurance carriers to find the right coverage and price for your needs. In the last 40 years, they've helped more than 2 million families secure over $700 billion in coverage. Even if you have a health concern, SelectQuote agents can find you the right policy at the lowest price. Don't wait until it's too late. Get peace of mind that your loved ones are protected with life insurance.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-480-5454 for your free quote today. That's 1-800-480-5454. Or go to SelectQuote.com. That's 1-800-480-5454.
Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
The United States Soccer Federation presents the U.S. Soccer Podcast.
Inside the opening 45 seconds. What a goal! With that cannon of a left foot. All even at one.
Never miss a game.
What a start for the United States. Shot for distance. What a goal!
Never miss a moment.
Exquisite from the San Diegan. Can he finish? Yes, he can. Yeah!
The U.S. Soccer Podcast. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Back to Eugene Snarkle, rising UberTube star, and his best friend, Doug.
Eugene, you've been working on my car's brakes for 3 days now. Is there a problem? And what's with all the orange stuff on your t-shirt?
Research, Doug.
The orange stuff is research?
No, I'm doing research for my next UberTube video on fixing brakes. I need the Chizo snack food to power my 72-hour video binges. It gets a little messy, but I'm willing to make the sacrifice.
It looks like the only sacrifice is my car, and maybe that white t-shirt covered in Chizo dust.
So, can you hand me that metal thingy?
You mean this wrench?
Well, if that's what you want to call it.
Eugene, I need my keys. I'm heading to Jack Furrier's.
Great choice, Doug. You know, brake repair doesn't have to be expensive to be good. At Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, we've been providing award-winning service since 1960, including top-quality brake repairs at the best prices in town. Call, stop by, or go online to make an appointment. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, here to get you there.
Discover your ideal vehicle at Cactus Auto, Tucson's trusted destination for certified pre-owned vehicles for more than 30 years. Their finance experts provide top-dollar trade-in offers and are dedicated to helping you secure the best financing options no matter your credit history. With approved credit, you can enjoy 0% down and no payments for up to 90 days. Trust Cactus Auto for quality, affordable pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. All backed by spectacular savings and a 7-day exchange guarantee. Visit cactusauto.com for more information.
Because of the gospel rescue missions, my kids still have their dad. I lived a life on the streets, ultimately leading me to prison. I came to the gospel rescue mission not looking for shelter, but for a second chance to be a better person. I worked the program, gave my life to Christ, and got baptized. And when I came out of that water, it was like all the weight of my old self stayed behind.
Your support does more than rewrite stories like Ryan's. It transforms generations. If you want to help, or if you need help, go to grmtucson.com.
So hot. Hi, can I help you?
Good afternoon. We're with Goodfellas AC Rapid Response Team.
But I didn't call yet.
That's how fast we are, man.
Just as I thought, this AC is out.
No, we're not gonna lose it. Come on. Come on. Don't you die on me.
Johnson, get a hold of yourself. Sorry, we take this very seriously.
Wow, you fellas are good.
It's not just a name, ma'am.
It's who we are kind of thing.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
This is Bill Ryder of the Sports Minute, sponsored by Prevagen. Prevagen, made for your brain. I understand why Ryan Day, the head coach at Ohio State, wants 4 automatic qualifiers for the Big Ten and the expanded college football playoff. It's because he doesn't want to compete. The fact is those conferences already dominate, but assuring them forever, perpetuity, a chance to compete for national championship is the antithesis of competition and sports. I'm Bill Ryder.
David is a real Prevagen user, and this is his story.
Nice to meet you. My name is David. I've been a pharmacist for 44 years, and I'm from Flowery Branch, Georgia. When I first started taking Prevagen, I noticed stuff just seemed to come together and fit like a jigsaw puzzle. When I have customers come in, I recommend Prevagen. Number one, because it's safe and effective, does not require a prescription. And I've been taking it quite a while myself, and I know it works. I wouldn't recommend something like Prevagen if I didn't think it was worth it, because it works so good for me. And I love it when the customers come back in and tell me, David, that really works so good. Makes my day.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Testimonialist was compensated for their time.
Your home for everything Arizona Wildcats. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290, KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station.
The following is a special presentation of Westwood One Sports. If it's the Women's College World Series, it's on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
Here comes ball 4 from Kent. Oh, Atwood swings and it's into the left field, a base hit.
The first pitch, I think she kind of left a little, and I was like, oh. And so then after that, I was just like looking for something just a little bit. I mean, that game's really tight, and I knew I was going to have to take a risk to try and do something for my team.
1 run scores. Here comes Scott. She will score. Atwood with a 2-run single, and Texas leads 2-1.
With the base open, I don't want to pitch to what I think may be the best hitter in the country. To me, it made sense to load the bases. Let's go to the 4-hole. Let's don't take a chance. You got clutch hit after clutch hit after clutch hit all her career, and maybe it was the wrong decision. Maybe we should have went at her.
After 3 intentional balls, Atwood swung at number 4 and grounded it into left field. She drives in 2, and the Longhorns have the lead.
Props to Nyjah, because she definitely kept us real tight throughout that game. She's a great pitcher, and I saw my opportunity and I took it.
I made that mistake. I think that loss is on me, and I apologize to my team.
Here's Kavon's 0-2, swinging a pop-up, right side. Mitchell, the first baseman underneath it, makes the catch, and Texas takes game 1.
It was a hard-fought game. It could have gone either way. Game of inches. A lot of things happening for a 2-1 ball game for sure, and fortunately we were able to come out on top of it.
The momentum absolutely is in Texas dugout now at the beginning of the game, and the first couple of innings are going to be critical for us to hold them and at some point get the momentum into our dugout as early as possible. And it's going to take a really tough, resilient team to come back. But if you can get one win, you get to game 3.